Hello, family and friends. Welcome back. I'm Gro Mambo Angela Novayan Adaizo. How you doing today? You got up this morning. How you feel? How you feel this afternoon? Did you tell everybody in your house you loved them? Remember, the first thing you're supposed to do when you wake up, while we're going through the stay-at-home orders, while we're going through safety in our homes, while we're going through this plague that's passing across this country, you tell everybody in your house that you love them. And then after you tell them you love them, then you breathe. And then you think about good things and elevations and what you could do to make life better or to make yourself feel better. And then you move on in the day. So today, we're back on our boat. We're back on our boat, and we're still going to talk about information that came from Papa Agwe and information that came from Papa Ogun. We're going to talk about both of those things. But before we do that, I want you to know some things. I have been a priestess for 42 years. When I first became a priestess, it was very hard to do a ceremony. It was very hard to do offerings. A lot of people were going to jail. A lot of people were getting locked up. A lot of ceremonies were being broken up. And a lot of the neighbors was using the authorities for their malicious thinking and bad dislikes for that person in African religion and called the police on them for no reason whatsoever. It was very difficult 42 years ago. As the years went by, it was Papa Ogun that gave me a mandate to be able to fight for African religion. Well, I kind of turned it down because I didn't want to do all that work, and I felt as though I shouldn't have to do it by myself. But then the National African Religion, NARC World International, was born. We had to fight for the practices of African religion. And a lot of people, new Mambos, new Hungans, new priestesses, you might be 5 years old, 6 years, 7 years, young in age, you don't know the history. You don't know the history on how you're practicing today with less interference into your ceremonies. The National African Religion Congress, we had to go state by state to the Attorney General of each state to fight for the rights of priests and priestesses in African-based religion. Back then, if you wanted to get married in African-based religion, what you had to do, you had to call in the Justice of the Peace, and you had to get married like that so that they could make it legal. And then once they made it legal, then your Babalaro came in, or your Iya, or your Santera came in, and then they performed the African religion. That's the way it had to be done. Or you went to City Hall, and you got married down at City Hall to make it legal, and then you brought in the priest and the priestess of any one of these traditions to do the marriage ceremony, and then it became legal. Well, we got tired of that back then. We got tired of having to call somebody in to legitimize us getting married in our religion. Whether it was a marriage, a funeral, a baby being blessed, whether it was a rites of passage, whatever it was, we got tired of that. Today, you don't have to do that. Today, you can have a priest or a priestess in your faith to directly do your marriage ceremony, to directly do your funeral. Today, if you want to go up to the hospital and you want to pray for the sick, and it's after hours, all you have to do is say you are a priest of African religion, and you could be able to have access to go into that hospital at any hour to say prayers for that person. There's a lot that brought it from back then up to what it is today. As a priestess, a voodoo priestess, Papa Goon said that every religion was whole within itself, but a part of the greater whole. To be able to get people to see that it's the hardest thing. African religion is going through the same dissension and the same fights that Christianity is going through. The same fights, and it's unnecessary. You may call it Orisha, you may call it Loa, you may call it Risha, or you may call it deity, or whatever you call it. But if you're smart in the spirit, you have to be able to recognize the spirit, regardless what country it's coming from, and regardless to what it is called. That's a wise person. That's a person that's living their religion. But yet that same thing that goes on in Christianity is the same thing that goes on in African-based religion. Same thing. I'm going to put some incense here. We need it. Through some of these things that I have done, my life has been at threat. Where I did the first open ceremony, voodoo ceremony, at the Afro-American Museum. And it was the Christians that threatened me, that told me that if I show up, that I would not live. I had to have plainclothes security to go in and do that service. The Voodoo Fest that you see down there in New Orleans is not what it is back then. I did the very first one at Congo Square since Marie Laveau, and it is documented. And in that service, it is documented that Papa Goon came down and raised a woman up from the wheelchair who hadn't walked in years, that stood up and walked after he bathed her in the middle of Congo Square from a trash can with water and herbs. You don't matter. What's important is spirit. I'm not going to say, oh, that's not voodoo, that's a rich. I'm not going to say that. A dumb person is going to say that. A dumb person is going to say, oh, that's voodoo, that's not a rich. That's a dumb person. It's a person that's not wise in spirit. Nor are they wise in the dominion of the Orishas or the dominions of the Loa. On June, I'm going to give you this. June 1983, a message came. The message talked about the history and the future of African-based religion. It spoke about how religions were going to die in the countries where they originated. And it spoke about how they would thrive in America and in other countries that they migrated to. It talked about that. And it said the religions of the world could flourish with fruit, or they can die. They would die in the countries that they originated and migrated from. Then they would thrive here in America and in other lands. However, the religions in the lands will be faced the same fate, that if they didn't do what was right and made the same errors that was made in other countries, it would die in America too. Well, this report, I took it to Africa. I took it to the Oshogun. I took it to the Uni. I took it to the Taja. I took it to the Alafin. And they all recognized it as legitimate. My documentation says 37 years ago, almost all of Africa was practicing African-based religion. But today, my documentation says is 6% of what's being practiced in Africa. But once I got into Nigeria, they confirmed it was 2%. And this is the problem, not just in Nigeria, it's the problem in Haiti, it's the problem in Brazil, it's the problem in Trinidad, it's the problem in all of the countries. Why? Because the people are forsaking their own religion and too busy fighting with the other ones. They're too busy allowing other religions to come in there and say, we will give you food, we will give you medicine, we will give you all these different things. And we will give it to you, but you have to renounce voodoo. You have to renounce Orisha. Some of you don't know that. You could get on this internet and you could start talking. All it is talk. Tell me what you're doing about it. It's not enough to just dance and do the Yambalu and do the little dance here. Okay, we can get down. We can get down with the Yambalu. We can dance. Come on, let's get it going. We could do all of that. And we could drum and sing our hearts out. But what else are you doing? Can you be able to take your faith and put it out there into society and make someone else know the spirit in you and know that they are not forced to change their religion just to receive help from you? It's too much of that. And that's why we are having problems here in America with this coronavirus. When you look at the coronavirus, the way it's passing, the way our Guay's will is passing, let's talk about the Vatican. They had 8 cases when I last checked, and no deaths. The Pope is considered the father of Christianity. I don't care what anybody say. That's what he's considered. When you look at the United States, they have the same problem that's going on in Africa. Africa is struggling today because they turned their back on the Orisha. They're struggling with poverty. They're struggling with no food. They're struggling with people being poor. People being forced to take help from other religions. Well, if you're over here in America and you are Orisha, then why are you not sending money over there to help your sisters and brothers so that they can stay within their faith and don't have to accept the help from missionaries coming in there telling them, we're only going to give you food and we're only going to give you medication if you renounce your religion? Come on, give me a break. And I try not to speak like this because I don't want nobody to know how old I am, you know. I want to try to act like I'm a young buck right along with everybody else. But then I get real frustrated when I see the way these young ones are acting and when I see what they do. I want to thank Baba Alvarez in Miami. Baba Alvarez was very major helping us to get African religion to what you see it is today. I want to thank him because it took strength and it took courage in his community to be able to speak to the Babalaros, to be able to speak to the priest and the priestess and those in the different houses, to let them know that it's something bigger than you just drumming in your house. It's something bigger. That's why we are going to a demise. Because no one is understanding it's something bigger going on out here. So I want to thank Baba Alvarez. If you're there, here's my kiss. I want to thank Papa Gee. Because back then, we had to fight to legalize the religion in Haiti. Questions was put to me. Well, Gro Mambo, we can't do our own funeral. And when we go to take our people to the church won't do the funeral because they're voodoo. And I had to ask them, why in the heck are you taking somebody who is a voodoo priest or whatever all their life to the Catholics and ask them to do the funeral? You're crazy. So we had to fight to be able to legalize African religion in Haiti. And we did that before Aristide. And then when Aristide came in, he legalized it again, but it was already legalized before that, and it was the work of the Congress that did it. Then I was called into Haiti They wanted to know about Aristide. And I sat down there and I did a big reading for all these people that paid my way to come into Haiti to do the reading for them. And they was very upset when I told them 6 months. And when I gave that reading, he was not supposed to be president for 6 months, and it wound up to be less than that, and he was out of there. So I do readings. But I do readings for countries where they call me in to do a reading for the economical structure of the country so that they can make a decision on which way they're going to go financially. And I'm not political. I just give them the reading. I just tell them what Papa going to say, and then it's up to them what they're going to do. What are you doing? That's the question that everybody needs to ask themselves instead of bashing one another. Instead of trying to bring somebody down. Instead of trying to reduce somebody. This is not the time for that. You have to know that there's an epidemic if you want to look at it that way. If you want to be physical and look at it that way, then go ahead. There's an epidemic. But I'm telling you it's bigger than that. It's a plague. And if you want to get caught up in my terms and my usage of it, then all you got to do is figure out your own term that you want to use that's going to make you comfortable to be able to see that this coronavirus don't know no color, don't know no religion, don't know no blue state, don't know no red state, don't know if you're black, you're white, you're purple, don't know what. The only thing that it knows is I'm going to take you out of here any way necessary. We have to stop. And we have to come together. It's no time for jealousy. It's no time for envy. And you know what? It's no time for pride right now. God is calling everybody's attention, to everybody, including mine. And these messages that I'm coming to give to you, trust me, I have to do protection for myself and really believe that God got me. I got to really believe that Ogun got me. I done been through those days in my life where I've been threatened with guns and threatened, couldn't even leave out of my house without security. And I'm not rich, but the police gave that to me. Even the guardian angels did that for me. And the majority of them were Muslim. They didn't care that I was voodoo. They saw the work. They had spirit. Now I'm going to talk about this country a little bit. Here in the United States, they're going through the same problem that's going on in Nigeria and all these other countries. In the United States, do you think that the religion here was Christianity? You are very foolish if that's what you think. Because this land was dictated by the Indians. And the Indians had their religion and they weren't Christians. They believed in the wind like we do. They believe in the water. They believe in the ocean. They believe in the power of the stars. They believe in the moon. They believe in the clouds. They believe in the power of the ocean. They believe in the ancestors. That was the religion of this land. Now, what happened? You had the people that came over here and they took over this land. And then they put Christianity here. Where did it come from? Across the waters. But why at the Vatican is only 8 deaths? 8, no deaths. I'm sorry, no deaths. The last I checked, 8, no deaths. Why over here in the United States, Christianity is all up in this, not even obeying the call of God, where the governors are trying to make us safe. But the people is talking about their religions and their freedom right is being violated because they have a stay-at-home order. When all these governors are trying to do is to keep you safe and to curb something that is crossing the land. So why is the Pope in the Vatican, the father of Christianity. Why is he over there preaching the ceremony by himself online to millions of people? And why over here in the United States they talking about their rights? Where they're coming up in church congregations and then somebody come down with the coronavirus and then you have hundreds of people that have to quarantine themselves to stop it from passing. Come on, give me a break. It's time to breathe. Let's get on our boat. Let's get on our boat. It's time to breathe. I want you to think about this. And then I want you to empty yourself. I want you to think about pure energy. Energy that you was born with. I want you to think about what's on your head. Whether you have a deity on your head, a Loa on your head, a spirit on your head, a guardian angel on your head, a deity, whatever you want to call it. I want you to think about that. And then I want you to think higher, to pull yourself out of whatever confusions that might be going on in this world. I want you to find a way to think for yourself. And not any confused thinking that has been passed on to you. I want you to thank God that you got up this morning. Thank God for your health and your strength and the health and the strength for everybody that shut up in that house with you. I want you to thank God and pray. Because that's the only way we're going to make it out of here. And let's breathe. Let's take it in. Breathe again. Let's breathe. Let's breathe again. Let's think about the ocean water. That when it comes in and the wave hits you, it leaves you afresh and it takes everything off of you and it rolls back up into the ocean. Let's think about how far it can roll out. Even though you can't see the end of where the water is coming from, you know it's going back somewhere. Let's breathe, ha-ha. Ha-ha. Let's breathe. Come on, babies. You could do it. Breathe in. Open up that spirit in you. Tap it. Let's breathe. Yeah, I'm on my boat. And I told you yesterday that the boat is your house. I got my oar and I am riding. I'm riding on my boat and my boat is my house. And I am keeping safety and keeping everybody in my boat. And you do the same thing. Safety in your house. You may not have no oar, but do this. Ah. And ah. Keep the safety of everybody in your house, in your boat, because your boat is your house. That's the way I want you to see it. The messages are important, but in order for you to really understand the messages, you got to have some history to go to it. You know, everybody don't understand everything about their religion. That's from Orisha to Voodoo to Santeria to Candomblé. They don't all understand everything about it. A lot of the times they understand a song, a dance, and then they might give you a legend, something like that. But are they applying it and looking for a deeper understanding? I don't know. But you have to look for a deeper understanding. I remember one time years ago, and I lost a lot of family behind this one. And I received a message. And the message was about Jesus. That's who it was about. And here I am, just coming out of ceremony for Papa Ogun, just getting in from Haiti. And I'm so tired from everything that I was doing over there in Haiti. I lay down on the floor and I go to sleep. When I go to sleep, this is what I saw. I saw Jesus, and I saw the back of him. I saw his hands, I saw his head, his hair, his feet, and even the outfit that he had on, some type of Muslim outfit, some like a creamy color or a tannish color, something like that. He had that on. And where he was at the place where he was going to be crucified, where he was going to die. He visited that place way before he died. He knew exactly where they was going to take him. He visited, went there and looked at it. Then the next thing I saw was him taking them to the place. They had him in a wagon, and it was at night. It was dark, and the sun was coming up. And he was in a wagon with two wheels on each side of it. He was in the wagon, and the cross was in the wagon. There was horses in front of him and armed guards, horses behind him, and they went through this narrow road. And I remember how beautiful the greenery was on both sides of it. I remember the trees and the bushes and how green and plush it was. It was beautiful. And I saw him in that wagon. And they went on to that place that he visited weeks ago. Then when he got out of the wagon, they put the cross on him, and he carried the cross from the wagon to where they actually crucified him. So a lot of you Christians, you got the story wrong. It wasn't that he was dragged through the street and crowds were screaming. There were no crowds. They kept it very quiet because he was too popular. They know this story over in the lands where Christianity is migrating from to the U.S. They know it. It's just over here, a lot don't know it. But who am I? I'm a voodoo priestess. Yeah, I'm voodoo. But I'll swear to God to you, that's the vision that I had. Minding my business. We need to stop bashing. You need to stop bashing, whether it's Christianity or Ifa or Orisha. Who's telling you to do that? Who's telling you to display hate or negativity towards another faith? You need to stop. We need to come together. This thing is crossing. And when it's crossing, stop it right here. When you see the way that this is stretching out, if you can remember what I told you yesterday about this right here reaching. So when you see that reaching, it's reaching out into water. Agway said again that it had to blow out to sea. We're not going to be clear of this thing until it blows out to sea. The more you understand it, the more patience you will have in your house. Then it won't be no room for getting depressed, room for anxiety, room for, I got to get out of here, I got to get out of here. It won't be no room for you to say crazy things about, oh, your rights is being restricted. It has to blow out the sea. And when you look at it, when this point is coming down here, it's hitting water. And the point coming past Portugal over here is hitting water. And the point going up there is hitting water. So when this thing starts to cross through, it's really the points where this virus is not going to have a heavy count of people that's getting sick from the virus and dying. Now you're going to move it some more. And we are going to a little bit more till we get it all out. Now water stop. Right there, yeah. When you look at that, it's hitting water. So what happened is, everything that is grabbed up from over here, it hits water, it hits the Black Sea, and then it keeps going, it hits water here, and then it keeps going and it hits water here. And each time that it hit water, it's dropping this virus off in the water. Water is purifying. Each time it's purifying. But now you got where it's starting to hit the U.S. So it comes into the U.S., and when it starts to come into the U.S., it's hanging out around New Jersey, Baltimore, Maryland, New York, Boston. It's in those areas. But then they say on television that 40% of the coronavirus nationwide is African Americans, and 35% nationwide are African Americans dying from it. That's when I last checked. Don't know what the numbers are today. But that's what they say. But why is it like that? Why are the spiritual leaders still bashing another religion? Why is there still bashing going on within African religion and bashing going on in Christianity? Bashing going on in Islam? Why is it still going on? Because even Islam migrated to this country. Are they doing the same thing that they're doing over there in Saudi Arabia? Or in those Islam countries across the sea? Are they doing the same thing? Just like African religion could go to a demise, I think the other ones are going there too. And I think they have the same problems too. We have to be smart and wise. You have to check the temperature of what's going on. So when you look at that, we all know that Maryland is heavily populated with black people. We all know that. What's going on over there? What are y'all doing? I'd like for y'all to follow me on Instagram at Gro Mambo. Follow me on Facebook. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, Gro Mambo Angela. And hit the like button. Hit the like button, everybody. You may not agree with everything I'm saying, but you find it for me where it's not true. Find it. And I know you're not, because Ogun told me. Whether you like it or not, Ogun told me. And I'm going to live by that. So, this comes right through. It's the wheel of the winds. It comes right through. And then when it comes right through, it's going to be moving right through these states. When you look at it, how far it's stretched down, you see it's hitting, but not that much. Jamaica is pretty good down there. And you got the Bahamas that's pretty good down there. You got a lot of those islands down there that's pretty good down there that don't have those high numbers. I think the Bahamas only had 50 cases. And a lot of it is like that. It's because of the way the wheel is stretching. It hit water, it cleaned up, and then the people there came together. They had good leadership. Where the leadership there closed off their country early enough for the protection of their people. But let's look at the United States. Let's take a look at that. Before we go there, I want to introduce my technical person, Angela, and her website. What's your website, baby? Tell them your website.
Bam Kitty Illustrations at
.com. And she does illustrations, she does animation, anything that you need like that, logos, she can help you with that. And my technical crew here is Paquesa, which she's the one that does the websites for me, NARC website and Gro Mambo website. Yay! Yay for Paquesa. And my personal assistant, God, I just feel so bad for her. You know, she just works very hard around the clock. I don't know how much sleep she gets at a night, whether it's this time or any time. But let's say hello to Spree. Yay! We thank it's Spree. So I want to tell you that. And I will answer some questions. Do we have questions coming in? What is going on with you over there?
We're fine. We're fine.
Are we fine? Okay. Let's move this over just a little bit. When you move this over just a little bit and stop right there. You see that came right through New York. It came right through Trenton, New Jersey, Delaware. It came through Boston. It's covering all of this area where we have high coronavirus. The numbers are very high in that area. They say, and you don't want them saying things about you on television, that it's the black population. And the reason why it's so high is because of the black population. You don't want to hear that. Maybe it's some truth to it if they don't believe that it's real, or if they still want to continue on with their schedule, still want to continue on doing what they were doing, or having corona parties and, you know, let's all get together and have a corona party, or going outside without a mask. It's like children, toddlers, and the only way to keep your eyes on them, you got to put them in a playpen. So you don't want to be viewed like that. You have to talk to your neighbors, talk to your sisters, talk to your brothers. And when I say your sisters and brothers, I mean the people of your community. Talk to them and tell them that they need to stay indoors until this thing finishes passing us by. And then this thing keep passing, and it goes through Detroit, and it goes through Chicago, and it keeps passing. And then we got this problem with North Dakota, South Dakota, I forget what state it is. It's one of those states where they had a protest. Michigan. And it goes right through there. And there in Michigan, they are saying that their rights is being violated. And they're out spreading the virus. But you know what? Papa Goon told me it was a strategy of war, is what he said. And that was to strategize other states to follow. If other states decide to follow, then we will have the greatest dissension in this country. Then looking to come out of this where some normalcy will happen in November, it's not going to happen. I believe that we will have it in November because the message came down in November. But then some people corrected me who was here at the Humble Fort and said that Baon actually started talking about it in October. And then he came back November the 1st and he expounded on it. That's what I was told. Well, you know, I don't know. I be in possession half the time. You know, I come out of it and it's whatever. They just tell me whatever and I just go, yep, okay. And then I just keep it moving. Just keep it moving. So that right there happened. Now, that right there was a strategy of war. And it's only going to bring war within the states. One state against the next state. That's what's going to happen. You need to back the ones that are in the spirit. You have governors in the spirit that have genuine care and love for their land and their people. And then you have the other ones that don't have that same thing. Something else is going on. Some people say it's money. Some people say that it's Trump. Some people say that is getting religion and politics mixed up all together, when really there should be a separation of religion and state, or a separation of church and state as they know it in this country. So, you have to prepare yourself and you have to be wise. When they start saying, oh, it's safe to go outside, be leery. Don't rush. And let's go across some. Okay. And this thing is moving through Iowa and Nebraska and Wyoming. Hold it right there. And you see how this point is going right through North Dakota? It's going through North Dakota, and then it swings back down into South Dakota and then back out. That's no coincidence. That's no coincidence at all. These two states must be of like mind. They don't have to agree with everything that is in that state, whether it's red state, blue state, whatever. But they need to be a like mind, because this virus could walk from here to here and from there to there. And even in Michigan, there were people that came from different parts of the states just to participate in that rally, and then when they got done, they went back to wherever they came from. And we will see a spike. We will see a spike. So I tell you to be careful. I tell you, your spiritual pact that's over your door, on Wednesdays, put Florida water up on it. Or throw perfume up on it. Or pray over some water and throw water up there for protection of your house. The ones of you who have the mat, just throw the same thing on it, Florida water, because it's under the mat. Florida water, or some perfume there. One thing that you need to do is you need to take your shoes off when you come in the house. If that's not your practice, you need to do that. Or you need to have a bin that you put your shoes in, so that whatever you walk outside in the street, you don't walk it up into your house. Let's breathe. How y'all feeling? Are y'all all right? Yeah? Okay. Let's breathe in. Breathe out. Let's pray for unification in this country, please. Breathe in. Breathe in. You know, while I'm breathing, I feel that somebody is saying, I'm really scared. I'm really scared of what's going on in this country. But what I'm telling you is not to make you fearful. It's to make you understand the reality of danger that's out there. And as long as you stay in the spirit and you stay indoors, you're going to be all right. You're going to come out of this. And you will be restored financially and mentally. And some people's going to take a little bit of time mentally, because they're going to think about all of this that they went through during this time. But you will be all right. Breathe in. Breathe. 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 Breathe in, ha ha. Breathe in, ha ha. Breathe in. How are we feeling? Did that relieve some stress? I'm sending my prayers out to you. I'm sending my prayers out to you. Baba Alvarez, I'm praying for you. Praying for you and your household. And everything that you touch there, that it be sweet. I'm praying for you, Baba Stanton, over there in New York. I'm praying that everybody be sweet there. I'm praying for you, Michelle. Gro Michelle over there in St. Martin. I'm praying for you. Everything be sweet. Jacques, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you, Denny. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you, Joel, over there in Canada. Ha ha. I'm praying for you. Stay covered. Keep that mask on. Don't get sick. I'm praying for everybody. I'm praying for my house. I'm praying for all of my godchildren. I'm praying for everybody that I touch. I'm praying. How you feeling there? Incense. Make sure you're using it every day. Make sure you're using it every day. Okay. We have any questions? Don't forget, follow me on Instagram at Gro Mambo. And come to my YouTube channel. Subscribe. Press the like button. Press it. And I get different questions. Different ones are saying, oh, we want to know the spirit that you was born with, or we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Let's get some likes going. Let me know you like me. Let me know you like me. You know, let me know. Or if you want me to sing a song, I'll sing a song for you. Let me know. Whatever. Let me know you like me. Hit the like button. Do that. Subscribe. Do that. And I will talk, because I know you are appreciating me. That's really important. Just appreciate me, because I appreciate you. And I love talking to you. I love it. I love it. I'm feeling the spirit over here. Okay. Am I released? Aha.
See.
Just breathe. Let's breathe. Make sure you use incense. Let's breathe. Okay. I'm going to say good night and take all the blessings to your house. Bless your families. Take everything. Take the knowledge. Knowledge is power. Go deep in the dominions of the law, the dominions of the Risha, the dominions of the spirit. Go deep and stop trying to be spiritual with a closed mind. Have an open mind. And the more open your mind is, the more open your heart is, the more you are in the spirit. And the more doors will open up for you. Doors that you never imagined. They will just open. And then you see a whole new way of living. A whole new way of life. You will see it. But you can't have a closed mind. Your mind has to be open. Pray for these countries and pray for ours. And you know what? Pray for that governor in New York. Governor Cuomo. Pray for him, because he is a spiritual person. And pray for that governor, that they were all out there honking their horns and all that. Pray that she have the strength and stay right there, because that's what God is leading her to do. Pray for her. Pray for our first line workers. Don't let whatever they are going through be in vain. They are our front line soldiers. So,
It's a lot of hearts. Everyone's saying thank you, Gro Mambo, and they want to know when's the next time they're going to see you.
Ah! How about what y'all like? What y'all like? I like Saturday afternoon or Monday. What do you like? Saturday at 3 o'clock? Or do you want Monday at 3 o'clock? What you like? Ding, 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 ding. What you like?
Let's see.
And Mambo, you're getting greetings from all over the world. Morocco, Nigeria, Brazil, Trinidad, and of course, United States.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I did a lot of work down there in Brazil. And I just hope that the work that I did not go in vain. Just keep up your faith. Keep up your faith. But one thing that I want to say to the people in the United States, to help bring these religions up in these other countries, some kind of way, you have to be the missionary for them. And if you could be the missionary for them, then they would less need missionaries of other faiths that's telling them they have to renounce their religion, to have food, medical supplies, and water, fresh water. Let's help them. Every priest should have a mission. And every mission that you have is going to cost some money. But if you get money and you take some of that money and you help somebody else, then God will give you some more.
Saturday. It's the influx of Saturday.
Okay.
Same
I
every
will
year.
see you Saturday and we will talk about the spirits of your head. We will talk about that. Is that what they want?
You answer questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll answer questions. One question now. One question.
One question a person.
Don't do these double questions on me. You know, like, I would like to know the so-and-so and so-and-so. And if it is the so-and-so, then why is it the so-and-so? And if it is that the so-and-so, then could you tell me about the so-and-so? That's 1, 2, 3. That's a compound. Okay? So I will see you on Saturday. God bless you. It was something else.
You have room for one more question?
Oh,
From the UK. We can't leave them out.
okay, I can't leave the UK out.
What can I use to protect myself here in the UK? I live close to a river and a stream. That's Ms. Anita Walker.
Oh, that is wonderful. Close to a river or a stream. That is wonderful. They could take that water. If they could get the water, you know, if they could go down there and get that water, maybe as much of a bucket, if they could get that, and take it back to their house. And then when they get back to their house, they want to get some fresh basil and some fresh mint, like a bunch. A bunch of basil, you know, like a bunch, and then a bunch of mint. And you want to take it and shred it. Just shred it up. Then you want to put it in that river water, and then you want to scrub it like you're scrubbing clothes, and it's going to turn the water green. You just keep picking it up, and you just scrub it, and it's going to turn the water green. That's what it's going to do. You put a little bit of perfume in that. If you could get a hold of Florida water, that would be good. But if not, a little bit of perfume will do. And you take that, and you have to add some boiling water to it to bring it a little warm. To bring it warm so it's not so cold. And then you rinse yourself with that. You just take it and you rinse it. See, the last time when I showed the spiritual bath, I almost gave myself a bath up here. It was so tempting. I went, ooh! It was so tempting. I almost went, ugh. And then I had to remind myself, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, I was going to be soaking wet. You know, so you just take it. And you're going to feel that urge. Oh, I need to put it on me. But not yet, not yet. Get the water real green. Make it real good. And you just keep going like that. And you pick it up and the water will turn green. Add boiling water to it to make it warm. And then you stand inside of a tub. And you take another scoop or a pot or anything. And you pick the water up and you just pour it down. And you just rub. And you just take it and you pour it down and you just rub. And you do that. And you could do that for yourself and you could do that for everybody in your household. That is excellent because the water from out of the stream is very powerful. is in the dominion of peace and love. And that will definitely help you. Yeah? Yeah? Okay, I'm picking up my wheel. I'm picking up my wheel. And we are going to drive our boat, sell it, and I will see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. But in the meanwhile, follow me on Instagram at Gro Mambo. And go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit it. And we will see you on Facebook. Follow me. Facebook, Instagram at Gro Mambo. Okay, bye-bye.